In China, there's a path where you walk on wooden planks nailed to the side of a cliff with nothing below you for hundreds of meters. In Nicaragua, people slide down an active volcano at 80 kilometers per hour. In Las Vegas, a ride on top of a tower pushes you off the edge and then pulls you back. And in Colorado, you get launched over a canyon and told to trust the cables. Today, we're counting down 10 of the most terrifying attractions on the planet. Some of these will make a roller coaster feel like a children's ride. Subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss what's coming next. Drop a like before we start. It takes 2 seconds. Now let's get into it. Number 10, the 500-foot high bridge, China. China has built some of the most extreme attractions in the world in places where most people wouldn't even look down. But this one stands out even by Chinese standards. Suspended approximately 200 meters above the ground, visitors must cross a series of beams using safety harnesses. But this isn't a simple walk across a bridge. The beams are deliberately spaced at irregular intervals. Some gaps are around 50 centimeters, others stretch to over 1.20 meters. At certain points, you're not walking, you're jumping from one platform to the next with an enormous void directly beneath your feet. And then there's the fog. At certain times, the abyss below is partially obscured by mist, which somehow makes everything worse. You can't see the bottom, but you know it's there. Videos of this attraction make it look manageable, but when you're actually standing on a beam 200 meters up and need to take the next step, every instinct in your body tells you to stop. Some visitors freeze completely in the middle. Others refuse to go back the way they came. And if something falls, a phone, a key, a shoe, the safety cable is not going to help it.
Number 9. Extreme, Las Vegas. Las Vegas is known for excess, enormous hotels, non-stop entertainment, and a general philosophy that more is always better. The Extreme fits that philosophy perfectly. It just applies it to terror instead of luxury. Located at the top of the Strat Hotel Tower, hundreds of meters above the Las Vegas Strip, Extreme is built on a simple concept. An open cart rides along a track mounted at the edge of the tower. Passengers get in, get strapped down, and the cart begins moving toward the end of the track. For a few seconds, everything feels relatively normal. And then the cart reaches the edge and keeps going. The nose tips downward, pointing directly at the street, hundreds of meters below. For a moment, the sensation is indistinguishable from falling. Then, the system stops the cart, pulls it back, and does it again. The view from up there is genuinely spectacular, but when your seat is hanging over the edge of a tower with Las Vegas laid out below you, the view is the last thing on your mind.
Number 8, volcano boarding, Nicaragua. Surfing generally involves a beach, waves, and water. Someone in Nicaragua looked at that combination and decided it needed to be replaced with ash, rocks, and the side of an active volcano. Cerro Negro is one of the youngest volcanoes in Central America, formed in the 19th century and erupted multiple times since. It's also the location of one of the strangest adventure activities on the planet. Participants hike to the top of the volcano carrying a wooden board. Then, equipped with protective gear including goggles and a jumpsuit, they position themselves on the board and push off down the slope. The surface is loose volcanic material, dark, rough, and fast. Speeds can exceed 80 kilometers per hour. And as you accelerate down the side of an active volcano, small rocks and volcanic dust are thrown up all around you, hitting your exposed skin and filling the air with a dark cloud. Most people who try it describe the descent as over before they fully understand what just happened. And then they look back up at the slope they just came down and realize they did it on a wooden board.
Number 7. Furious Baco, Spain. Most roller coasters ease you in. There's a long climb at the beginning, a slow mechanical ascent that gives you time to take in the view, question your decisions, and mentally prepare for what's coming. Furious Baco at Portaventura Park in Spain skips all of that entirely. The launch system accelerates passengers from 0 to approximately 135 kilometers per hour in a matter of seconds. There is no warm-up, no warning, no time to process. One moment you're sitting still, the next you're moving faster than most cars travel on a highway. The track covers around 850 meters with intense curves, low sections that pass close to the ground and a spectacular section over water. The seats are mounted on the sides of the main train structure rather than inside it, which increases the sensation of exposure throughout the entire ride. But the launch is what people remember. That sudden, violent acceleration that leaves your body feeling like it stayed behind while the rest of the ride moved forward and then catches up with everything else a second later.
Number 6. Zip World Velocity, Wales. A standard zip line gives you a harness, a handle, and a cable. You sit in the harness and slide from one point to another. The sensation is exciting but relatively familiar. Zip World Velocity in Wales decided that wasn't enough. Here, participants don't sit in a harness. They lie face down, body parallel to the ground, moving head first through the air like a human projectile. The position is closer to flying than anything most people will ever experience. After the safety equipment is fitted, helmet, goggles, full body harness, participants are positioned at the launch point and released. Speeds can exceed 100 kilometers per hour. The landscape around the zipline is spectacular. Mountains, water, enormous open spaces that stretch to the horizon. But with wind hitting your face at 100 kilometers per hour and the ground rushing past below you, appreciating the scenery requires a level of calm that most first-timers simply don't have. The ride ends quickly, but for those experiencing it for the first time, every second feels considerably longer.
Number 5. Pterodactyl, Colorado. Pterodactyl is terrifying because of where it was built. Located at Cave of the Winds Mountain Park near Manitou Springs, Colorado, the attraction is positioned directly above Williams Canyon. Participants are strapped into seats and positioned at the edge of the cliff. At that point, even before anything happens, there's already enough height below to cause serious discomfort. Then the system releases. The seats drop toward the canyon, a fall of dozens of meters, before the structure begins swinging out over the void below. Speeds approaching 100 kilometers per hour are reached almost immediately. The canyon walls pass on either side. The bottom is far below. It's over quickly, but quickly in this context means a few seconds of freefall followed by a pendulum swing over a canyon, which is more than enough to make most people reconsider their relationship with gravity.
Number 4. Roller Coaster Zipline. A zipline normally follows a predictable path. You start high, you end lower, and the cable does most of the work. The direction is consistent and the trajectory is smooth. Someone looked at that design and decided it was too simple. The result is a hybrid experience that combines a zipline with a roller coaster. Instead of a straight cable, participants are suspended from a track that curves, drops, rises, and changes direction unexpectedly. The body swings and tilts with every turn, reacting to changes that aren't visible until they happen. When the track passes through trees, the brain interprets every curve as a near miss with a branch, even knowing that the clearance is perfectly calculated. Without a vehicle surrounding the body, every movement feels amplified. Every change in direction registers differently than it would inside a car or cart. It's the sensation of a roller coaster with the exposure of a zipline, a combination that manages to be more disorienting than either experience separately. Number 3. Royal Rush Sky Coaster, Colorado. The Royal Gorge in Colorado is already one of the most dramatic landscapes in North America, a canyon carved by the Arkansas River with walls that drop hundreds of meters to the water below. It's impressive enough standing at the edge and looking down. Someone decided it could be made more intense. The Royal Rush Sky Coaster straps participants into safety equipment and elevates them slowly to a launch position above the canyon. During that ascent, there's time to look around, time to take in the scale of what's below, and time to reconsider whether this was actually a good idea. At the top, participants pull their own release cord. The structure drops toward the canyon and then swings out over the void, reaching speeds of dozens of kilometers per hour with the gorge stretching away in every direction below. Technically, it's a combination of free fall and a giant pendulum swing. Practically, it's being launched over a canyon and trusting that cables you can't fully see will bring you back. Number 2. Zero Gravity Flight. Every other attraction on this list uses height, speed, or impact to create its effect. This one does something completely different. It removes one of the most fundamental sensations a human body can experience. Parabolic flights produce genuine weightlessness. During specific flight maneuvers, the aircraft and everyone inside enter free fall together. Because everything is accelerating at the same rate, passengers experience the absence of gravity, not as a simulation, but as an actual physical condition. Feet leave the floor without jumping. Objects float in the air without support. Moving through the cabin requires pushing off surfaces rather than walking. Simple actions become completely unfamiliar. This is the same principle used in astronaut training and in scientific experiments that require a zero-gravity environment. The band OK Go used parabolic flights to film sequences for their music video Upside Down and Inside Out, footage showing band members floating through a cabin in genuine weightlessness. Most extreme experiences make the body feel like it's in danger. This one makes the body feel like it no longer exists the way it always has. For those few seconds of weightlessness, the rules that govern every physical movement you've ever made simply stop applying.
Number 1. Huashan Cliffside Path, China. Every other attraction on this list was built by someone. Engineered, designed, installed, and tested before a single paying customer arrived. The Huashan Cliffside Path is different. The mountain was already there. The challenge is simply surviving it. Mount Hua in China's Shaanxi province is one of the country's sacred peaks and home to some of the most extreme terrain accessible to visitors anywhere in the world. The plank walk follows the near vertical face of the mountain along a path that in certain sections consists of nothing more than narrow wooden planks bolted directly into the cliff wall. There is no wide walkway. There is no comfortable margin. On one side is rock. On the other side is a drop that appears to have no bottom. Visitors today use safety harnesses connected to cables running along the route, but the harness doesn't change what the eyes see. Feet balanced on a plank the width of a shoe, rock face inches from the face, and a void that stretches down farther than feels real. There are sections with chains for gripping, steps cut directly into stone, and passages so narrow that two people cannot pass each other without one pressing flat against the cliff. The altitude, the exposure, and the complete absence of anything between you and the drop below create a combination that no engineered attraction has fully managed to replicate. Safety equipment can prevent a fall. It cannot prevent the absolute certainty standing on a plank bolted to the side of a mountain that the ground is very far away and your life depends on not making a mistake.
What all of these have in common isn't the danger. Every one of them has been designed with safety systems that make serious accidents rare. What they have in common is the sensation, that moment where the brain receives information it was never designed to process calmly and has to choose between panic and trust. Drop a like if at least one of these made your palms sweat, subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss what's coming next, and comment below. Which one would you actually try? We read every single comment.